Mr. Ghanshyam Das Mundra, whole-time director, Sarda Energy and Minerals, is joining us right now. Mr. Mundra, thanks for taking our call, for joining us right now. You had been allotted a coal block, right, sir?
Yeah, we have been allotted coal block, sir.
Right. Can you tell us, my questioning is not so much about what happens to you, but I just want to get that part out and then we can talk about the industry and what happens from here. When was the block allotted to you, sir? Are you already mining?
2000. It was a running mine, one of the 40 blocks.
Okay.
Yeah.
And since when are you, since when have you been producing?
2008-9.
2008-9.
Yeah.
Okay, and now this block essentially would be has been cancelled. So production can go on for another 6 months, right?
That's right.
You know, we were just so there's a fine imposed as well of about 295 rupees a ton.
And that's right.
Just to get the company specific bit out, this is from 2008-9, the date you started production, all the way till 31st of March 2015, Mr. Mundra. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah.
And what would that number be for you, sir?
Till March 14, we have mined roughly 3.6 million tons. So with 295, it should come roughly about 105 crore rupees.
100 to 105 odd crore rupees or so. Okay.
Right.
And you have you have a power project, sir, which the coal block feeds.
Project as well as sponge iron, where we use the coal captively.
You have a coal and a sponge iron project.
We have a sponge iron project and power project where we use the coal which we mine from our own mine captively.
Okay. Power and sponge iron project. Got that. So when the mine goes away and it's put up for re-auction, would you be participating in the auction to get that same mine back?
I think because we already have the end-use plant in place, there are a lot of employment is there. I think it is logical that we participate in the auction.
Okay. So I'm assuming that your projects, your power and sponge iron projects, are near to the coal projects, right? To the coal block.
Yeah, close to the coal block. Not absolutely adjacent to the coal block, but they are about 200-250 kilometers away from the coal block. Okay. 200-250 kilometers away from the coal block.
Yeah. Would you say that most of the 40-odd blocks which were operational have this kind of dynamic where the end-use project is pretty close by to the coal block?
Yeah. Then it makes economic sense. If you are close to the coal mine or your facilities are close to the coal mine, so you save on the logistic cost and your cost, landed cost of the coal is effectively low.
Right. So for this particular mine, this particular coal block, when it goes in for re-auction, what kind of bidding do you see? You obviously will rebid. You've been mining since 2008-9. You've got a power and a sponge iron plant to operate, so you need that coal. But do you see a lot of other interest from other parties for this same coal block? I'm just trying to get a sense in terms of how this would work, because some have said that companies which have got operational coal blocks will have to pay a higher price, market price, but they basically will get the coal block back. Easy, no problem. Is that the case, or will we see a lot of competitive intensity?
No, we'll have to see what the ultimately government come out with the guidelines for auctions, and then we'll have to work out what will be the viabilities and what will be the... So this is too early to comment on that, but certainly we'll have to, as we move forward, we'll look into it and we'll work it out.
So, Mr. Mundra, what kind of investments did you have to put into this particular mine?
We have developed because what amount of money, then more than the time, because we were located somewhere in 99, 2000, we could start it only 2008-9 after a lot of clearances, and then the most important point, we had to acquire the land also. So now the land is in our possession as well as in our ownership. So it took a lot of time as well as money also. So exact amount of money we spend, I don't have the figure right away.
All right. This land that you have acquired, now you own that land. So when the coal block is cancelled, what happens to that land?
That I think we'll have to see, because the surface right is, ownership is still with us. The mining right is with us. What has been cancelled is mining right. But the ownership right or surface right is still vested with us.
And
So that also will have to-
this was not allocated to you. This land you had to separately go and acquire.
We acquired it from the earlier owner or from the government.
Okay,
So
so right now that would mean something that you will have to also legally explore, right? As to what happens to the land. If this coal block goes to someone else, will they have to buy that land from you? Do you have any idea?
Land belongs to us, because the Honorable Supreme Court has said nothing about the land ownership, surface right. They only have cancelled the mining right. So I see that surface right and ownership still continues to with us.
So if someone else has to come and mine that coal block, let's say that you don't finally get it, then what happens to that land? Do they need that land, or can they continue to mine that coal block by, let's say, leasing it from you, paying you a certain kind of rent or something?
No, on that land we already set up a coal varsity also. So that we'll have to see, because we continue to remain the owner of the land. The surface right is with us. So we'll have to see what the guidelines comes from the government also. So that I think area will have to still the gray area, and we'll have to see what ultimately happens.
And this will be true for most other companies who've been allocated coal blocks.
Yeah, because most of the company have acquired the land, they have the surface right, they have the ownership of the land, and in all the cases only the mining right has been cancelled or this block is delocated.
So if I had to look at it from the, you must have already started doing some calculations from from the time this block, the Supreme Court's order came, as to what difference it will make to your costs. Now, understandably, when you do your own mining, you do your own washing, it comes at a lower price internally. If you have to buy it from the 1st of April, buy coal from the 1st of April, what is the kind of difference that you see? What kind of hit do you take on your margins?
So we'll have to see what the market price of the coal is available, whether we are given the linkage or where we are given, we have to go for the e-auction. That also government will have to come out with the guidelines to cater to our needs in case the coal block goes to someone else.
No,
So if it is
at current prices, what would it be?
current price, there will be difference almost about 700 to 1,000 rupees per ton of coal which we use. There will be the extra cost we'll have to incur.
About 2,000 rupees per ton extra cost, you're saying?
No, 1,800 rupees, may not be 2,000 rupees.
Okay. And how much coal do you currently extract?
We are expecting all put together is 1.2 million ton, roughly. 1.1 million ton, to be precise.
1.1 million tons you've extracted till now? Or
No, we have extracted 3.6 million ton, but annually we are expecting about 1.1 million ton.
okay, so that means that about you're saying that 2,000 million, that's about what, 20 odd crores more it's going to cost you?
200 crore, because 8,000 to 1,000, 800 to 1,000
So
rupees
actually
per
more than
ton.
that, about 40 crore.
Right.
No, sorry,
No, it will be 80 to 100
20 odd
crore. 80 to 100 crore.
Mr. Mundra, just one question. So, the auction process will start. 6 months will 6 months. So, if the auction process does not begin by the time the 6-month period is over, Coal India will take over and operate these blocks. How do you think that mechanism? Because I think that's still a little bit of a grey area. If coal blocks were to operate this, your coal block, which was yours, which has now been cancelled, how do you suppose you will get that coal from Coal India? I mean, what quantity will Coal India sell it to you at the market? Sorry?
Is the order says if it is not auctioned, it goes to Coal India?
No, it says that in the interim, Coal India will take over and operate these mines till the time the auction process is complete and the coal block is actually allocated to the new owners. That is what it says.
Okay, okay.
For continuity of production. My question was, what do you imagine will happen? Will Coal India be allowed, what kind of quantity will Coal India be allowed to produce? How will this be, how will the coal that Coal India and the interim produces be sold? Any thoughts on that?
No, I think the government only will have to come out with the guidelines.